Ed from Pinball Mayhem here for an update on the STD160. I got it all clean. I got started polishing some of the chrome. You can see on the right here. And I did remove the mechanism and go through it. I ended up replacing the motor coupler, which as you can't see here, the motor coupler is back in there in the mech. The clutch came out and had to be completely degummed, and there's some other work that had to be done on the bench. So this is kind of a whole separate conversation going through a mechanism. To remove this mech, there's plugs here. These two screws loosen, and that unclips. You have a couple plugs on the left, and on the front here, there's a cover over this gray box. There's a couple, there's the cover. Loosen the screw, and that slides off. You have to undo a couple plugs here. I think this one, undo this one here, and one of these two RCAs. And then there's a pin there and there. You snap those out. Here's what they look like. They slide towards the middle. They kind of just held them on that groove. Then the whole mech will slide forward. You do not need to remove this bar. That's pretty much it. I still haven't done too much else. Well, I worked on that. Now, I mentioned that I have access to a parts machine. I went to go take some parts off of it, and they just said, just bring the whole machine and bring back what's left of the two. So here's the parts machine. I just gave it a good cleaning on the case. I wanted to not be dealing with muck and mice and stuff. It's actually pretty darn clean. Parts have been ripped out of it. The harness has been cut, and splashed a little bit of water on the speakers, unfortunately. The speakers are good. The front panel is good. Here's the mechanism out of it, and here's just the right side. So what I'm going to eventually do is I'm actually going to take both of these completely apart. I'm going to pull that mech back out of the left machine, and I know I promised the people I bought that from I'm going to restore it. Well, this was a parts machine on the right. Between these two, I'm going to use all the parts I can to create one good machine. Because I don't have enough parts here for two machines. Got enough for one really good one. And so I'm going to keep cleaning up both of them, take the best of the chrome pieces, the best of the case, the best of the speakers, best of everything I can. Since the wiring harness has been cut on the right machine, I don't know, I may end up just using the right machine for parts, or I may end up using the wiring harness on the left one. It's, you can see here it's been cut for some reason, and there's another cut going across the front here, I think. So I need to take a close look at that before I do too much more. But this cut's okay, because I could actually just fish that wire out. This cut's okay. I think these are fine. Here we are. It's been cut right there. So that's what's going to the right side. So I got to decide what's staying, what's going. If this is just part of the harness. I think that's just an audio harness. So I'm still doing some cleaning. Last thing I want to do is just talk a little bit about my cleaning process. I use Totally Awesome as my first go around. Now the biggest thing is, people spray it down and wipe it off, but I am firm believers in a bucket of water. And you see how mucky that water is. Because you're putting soap on something, it's always going to be sticky, it's always going to have that residue, and it's going to attract more dirt. Also, a couple brushes to get in between the edge. So like, when you get dirt in here, a toothbrush, nylon brush really helps get this really good and clean. Gets that out of there. Same for when you're up here in the corners. If you can, I didn't do a good job there, I gotta go back. If you can brush it out, that's gonna really help. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And I like to use a rag with the water to wipe it off. And you can see my water is just mucky from cleaning this. So I spray on full strength, Totally Awesome. Then I wipe it down. Now, before I do anything much more on this, I'm gonna let it dry, and then I'll assess everything after I take a lunch break, and hopefully I can start putting stuff together. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next update.